What's going on, all you Facebook and YouTube live fishing freaks? Welcome back to this episode of Honor the Line Live. My name is Tyler. We're going to talk about some things that I've recently found over the few months. That's going to help me try to find more fish over the wintertime so I can get out there in the springtime and catch them. They're also going to talk about a couple of resources that I've just found. I'm going to give you guys some updates. Going to talk to you guys about what's happening over the next couple weeks, and then we're going to continue talking fishing for hopefully the next hour, unless it gets stale. Without further ado, we're going to hop on right after this intro. We'll see you in just a second.
Gotta get your arms way up in a cast and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-Loomis rod. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it a whirl. Hello, welcome to my world.
And we're back again. Welcome to this episode of Honor the Line Live, guys. Again, I'm going to be talking to you guys a little about some things that I've found over this winter that I think is going to help me, help you, especially if you're from Ohio or close to or fishing the Ohio lakes. I'm going to show you guys some things that I've found recently. It's going to help me catch some fish, and it could help you catch the fish. Just some resources that are there. They're not excellent resources, but they're not bad. And it's something I've just recently found. We're also going to talk about something new that I'm going to try to do this year, which is a Major League Fishing Fantasy Fishing League. We're going to be doing that in just a second. I'll show you how to get signed up. I'm going to try to have some prizes towards the end of the week or end of the year. Maybe we can get Jesse over at Blue Rock Custom Tackle, throw in some stuff, maybe JB's Fish Sauce, what have you. I'll throw in some tungsten. But it's literally, if you guys have never played fantasy fishing before, I've never done the MLF side of things. I usually do Bassmaster, and I've done fairly decent last year. I didn't win anything. I finished in like the top 99 percentile. I finished at one point I was like 230th in the world of fantasy fishing. And then one of the tournaments actually just absolutely destroyed me. Hey Andrew, what's up, buddy, man? Things are good. So we were talking about those Ned rigs, man. I'll make some of them up, and I'll bring them up to you. You can take a look at them. I won't rape you on them. We'll figure out what you want to pay for them, and we'll see what's up. But I'll have some for you. Quarter ounce is what I would use at Lake St. Clair. I'll have them at the tackle box on the open house, which we're going to talk about in just a second. But with that being said, again, I'm going to start a fantasy fishing league on Major League Fishing. And I'd love to do this on Bassmaster. I'm not sure that they're going to have this opportunity. I don't think they have the opportunity to start your own league on there. And just to give you an idea of how fantasy fishing works is every event, for example, my league's going to be on MLF, and I'll be doing fantasy fishing on Bassmasters too because I like it a lot. It's a fun time. It's a way to kill some time throughout the summer and put your knowledge against others, against picking pros. It's 100% free, by the way. None of this costs any money. But again, you guys can join my league or whatever. You pick your favorite anglers for that tournament, and you score points by where they finish in the order and, big bass. And there's like bonuses and things you can get. One thing that I did think was cool on the MLF side of things is that MLF actually, if you pick 10 anglers in each event, right? And if your 10 anglers finish in the top 10, you win a boat and a truck. Zero purchase necessary. No, there's no stipulations there. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly how to get signed up. I'm going to share the link here. I'm going to share my code. And again, the league's going to be open up until the very first tournament, which is going to be, let's see here. I think the 13th of February. That's when the first tournament for MLF is, and the tournament is, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure is at the Harris Chain of Lakes, which is, Florida, big time, big fish. But again, if you go to MajorLeagueFishing.com and you look at, for example, I'll just pull this thing up here really quick for you. So you guys can see here again, Major League Fishing. You just go to the fantasy fishing, and this is my league. This is a private league that you have to have this invite code right here to join. I will be putting this out on social media, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, what have you, I'll be posting this out there. Actually, I'll copy this and put it in the chats here in just a second. But if you go to join a league here, you'll then enter this code in here and then hit join league, and then you will be in the league with us again. So it's just me right now. Misty's going to play. If you have any women in your life that would like to play, or kids or whatever, the more the merrier. We're going to have a good time. Again, no purchase necessary. I'm not going to charge, this is all free. It's all fun and games. And again, I'm gonna have a little bit of prize packages towards the end of the year for the winners here, barring that you guys beat me. So I think that's probably a fairly easy thing to do, because I'm terrible at this stuff, it seems like. But you go and you choose 10 anglers throughout the year, or throughout this tournament. So you choose 10 anglers there. I'm not going to let you see mine, because that would be kind of defeating the purpose. But if you go to fantasy fishing, this is MLF again. I'll be doing Bassmaster fantasy fishing too, but again, there's no way to create a league. So I'm going to drop this thing. There is the code. I just dropped it on both of them there. Again, you can see that there. Hey, Nate, man, I appreciate it, buddy. Let's do some fishing this year. You get some time off. I'm off in the summertime. Obviously, I'm a teacher, so let's go do some fishing, bud. I got plenty of gear. You just hop on the boat and let's do it. Yeah, man. That's the great thing about fantasy fishing, is that you don't have to have a boat. You don't have to be a fisherman at all. If you don't know what I'm talking about in fantasy fishing, guys, fantasy fishing is nothing. It's just the same as fantasy football, right? So you choose your roster for that tournament. And the better your roster does, the more points you score, and the more points you score ranks you on the list. So again, it's just something fun to do. It's all free. I'm not affiliated with MLF at all. And again, this is just something free to see what we can do throughout the year. So I encourage you guys to get out there, men, women, child, whatever. The more the merrier. I don't think there's a cap on this thing. Let's just see. Let's have some fun and do some smack talking, I think. For you, Misty, I posted it in the comments. But here, let's do this. Let's see if I can't add something else here. Yep, there it is right there. E3D 8EF54. So if you guys want to hop over there and join the league, that'd be fun. Because again, I don't know who all, like I said, there's maybe we can get a couple hundred people in it. I'm not sure. But the league right now shows me, and that's it, which is okay. So that's one thing. The MLF Major League Fishing Fantasy Fishing League that I've created, called On Another Line. Again, free to join, free to enter. I'll have surprises at the end of the year. Again, just from some of the people that I'm affiliated with, maybe JB's Fish Sauce. Maybe we can get Jesse French from Blue Rock, throw some stuff in. I do have a couple of things probably from Yolatech, which reminds me, I need to give you guys an update. Last Tuesday, they created a new... So last year with Yolatech, and again, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, Yolatech. Yolatech makes... a lot of stuff for action cameras on boats. They make something called the Yola Stick, which plugs into your nav light, yada, yada, yada. I know you guys have heard me talking about it 100 times, and I have videos out on my YouTube channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. But they've been an affiliate of my channel for a long time. An affiliate means that I have a link, and if you buy something through my link, then I get paid a commission. So they've been an affiliate of mine for a long time, and I've been entering their video of the year, their ceremony or their competition, pretty much every year for the last 5 or 6 years that they've had it. Maybe 4 years. They've had it for 4 years. I finished third, I think, 2 years ago. I won the video of the year last year, and this year I submitted 2 videos. One was a raw video of a buddy of mine, Adam, his son. We took him out And to be honest with you, I don't know how old his son Owen is. I'm thinking he's 5. He's a kindergarten, so he's 5-ish. We took him out on my Stratus out to Yatesville Lake, and I caught him catching his first bluegill ever, his first fish ever on GoPro, which was really cool. But I submitted that as a raw video, and I didn't do a bunch of hype and stuff on that, and I didn't place in that video, which I didn't expect to, because I didn't want to use his first fish as a way for me to win a tournament. I didn't want to, or a competition, because I didn't want to like draw on people's heartstrings or whatever. I didn't want to be felt pity on or whatever. I wanted people to really judge it for what it was worth. So I did submit a video of the year as an edited video of the year. And thanks to you guys out there, I finished second this year and ended up with a $250 gift certificate for Yolatech supplies. So I appreciate you guys very much. It means a lot. You guys helped me do that because of wanting for you guys out there, then, commenting on my stuff. I would have blown the field away, I do believe, if people. So I don't know how. Like I know it just is what it is. Facebook is a weird place, but I had like 85 comments on a post that I had shared, and those comments didn't go towards the actual post. Like you had to click on the picture and comment on their post to get it counted. So like 85 on my post alone. And if they beat me by 85, then so be it. But I think I could have probably taken home the number 1 spot too. But I'm not a giant. I'm okay with that. Like, guys, I appreciate it. I ended up with, $250 worth of Yolatech stuff that I didn't have before, which is stuff that I use every day when I'm out fishing. So it was a good deal. I'm glad somebody won it and got the $500 plus the money, because I'm going to tell you that this tournament, or this, I keep saying tournament, but this competition that I entered this time will be the last time that I enter it probably, unless they start creating some new stuff that I don't have. Because right now, guys, I have pretty much everything that Yolatech offers, like pretty much everything. I have all that stuff, and that's been from tournament winnings and things like, winning money from tournaments. But 90% of it has come from you guys out there sharing and liking my videos, and I've been getting hooked up on this stuff, so I appreciate it. Hey, John, the league is Fantasy Fishing. The name of it is, let me make sure here. It's just called On Another Line, all one word. Yeah, On Another Line, all one word. Again, that thing that I put up down there at the bottom, that's the code to get linked in there if you guys want to do that. You guys have until the kickoff of the tournament, which is 13 days from now, to get logged in there, because it's it would be kind of unfair. Oh, sweet. I got Brandon Buckner in there. You got Katie, John Osborne, you're in there. I see Misty, myself. So we're already racking them up. We got 5 now. So, and again, that's the cool thing. So now the one thing that I will tell you is that it gets hard for me to remember when to do this. And it has to be, you have to like submit your rosters by the end of, or like the day before. I think it's like 12 hours before the tournament, or actually maybe before the tournament starts. So when the tournament starts, you can't add your roster anymore. So make sure you're doing that and it's not weekly, it's every event. So if you look at the schedule here, if we look at the schedule for MLF, the first one is at Kissimmee. It's a Kissimmee chain of lakes. Sorry, it's not the Harris chain. It's Kissimmee chain of lakes. That's February 13th through the 18th. So as long as you get your roster in there submitted by February, I'd say 12th at least. Keep in mind, guys, here's another thing that you need to remember here, is that many of these tournaments for Major League Fishing are the biggest 5 now. It's not that crazy, you catch them, you count them rules. Only on the heavy hitters, I think. Heavy hitters is whatever you catch is what's counted. But most of these now are going to the biggest 5 fish. Now, keep that in mind when you're choosing your people for these things, because, it may not be, and I know, don't get me wrong, I know Jacob Wheeler's going to smash them, but it ain't going to be one of those deals where Jacob Wheeler catches 200 pounds in a day, right? So we're going to be looking at normal weight scales. I would imagine 25 pound a day probably at the Kissimmee chain, maybe 20 to 25 pounds. So you're not going to get those giant leads of people that just go out there and smash quantity fish. I think you're going to see a lot of quality fish, which is going to bring it in there. Yep, 5 What's up, Strick? If you guys are just now joining, man, make sure you guys go over to the Major League Fishing Fantasy Fishing League and sign up. Again, 100% free. But down there on the screen, actually right there, is the code to get logged in. Again, I'm going to have some prizes at the end of the year. Maybe the top 3, we'll figure that out. Again, I'll talk to some people, see what I can do. But anyway, thank you guys very much for that second place finish on the YOLOTech stuff. It means a ton. Really does. Second off, I am potentially, depending on the weather, man, it's supposed to be nice on Saturday. I want to go out to the Great Outdoors this weekend. They have, Misty and I have tickets to see John Anderson and Cole Chaney at the Paramount Arts Center this Friday night. And then Saturday, it's supposed to be like 60 degrees here, which is crazy for this time of year. So I want to go fishing super badly, but I've talked to some people and they're having a really cool deal up at the Great Outdoors in Lavallette, West Virginia. They're having Edwin Evers there and a few other people. Them Wayne boys will be there selling some Ned rigs and some spinner baits and stuff they have. That, is going to be cool. So if I don't go fishing, I'm going to go up there. But what I think I'm going to do is, if they're down with it, I'm going to get a hold of Kevin, their dad, and run this by him. He's usually here watching, or they are. But I have a bunch of tungsten, right? You guys have seen me talking about this stuff. I think it's great quality tungsten. I've been fishing it for a few days now when I'm going out. I don't think there's any difference in any other tungsten. I do think that this stuff is not going to be chip proof. I think if you hit this stuff on rocks and things, it's going to chip. It's just the way it is. It's cheap tungsten. But I don't think it's going to chip off. I think it'll scratch and things. I'm not talking about chipping down to the tungsten. But what I'm saying is here's what I'm going to do if they're interested, whether I can make it or not, is I'm going to send some tungsten with them to the swap meet at the Great Outdoors. Again, they're going to be there. They're going to be selling their baits and things. But these tungsten, I bought this tungsten, and I was thinking about having this pricing where I was going to make money on it. And that's not what this is about, guys. That's not it at all. The QR code behind this weight back there, if you scan that, that takes you to my YouTube channel on another line. So again, you guys know that I have a 6,000 subscriber goal, which, by the way, thank you guys very much. I just hit 4,000 subscribers. But right now, my channel is just barely skimming by getting any kind of content as far as any kind of people subbing to my channel, which is really crazy. But the reason I got this was a marketing stunt or a marketing ploy. I got this and I started seeing dollar signs because there is a huge markup on tungsten coming from China. And I'm not going to tell you there's not. But this package is of weight. I'm going to price them to get my money back and add $1 or so per pack to these things. And I'm going to give them to the Wayne boys here to take up there to the Great Outdoors and maybe a few other places. Who knows? It's up to them. And the money that's made above and beyond what I have in these things, I'm going to donate it to the Wayne County Bass Team. The Wayne boys, those guys, and the Dick boys and all those guys, they're super young anglers. They're really passionate about fishing. Kevin, their dad, is an amazing dude. And again, if they're interested, I'm going to get a hold of them. But they should have some tungsten there. Kevin already reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to bring some and sell it there because they already have a table. And he never mentioned anything about paying him or anything, but I think that's a pretty good way to give back. If I take some of this tungsten, give it to them, they sell it. For example, like this 4-pack of these are 3/16 ounce weights would cost you about $7 in a store. We'll sell these things for $5. And that I have about $4 in this package, to be honest with you. So if I get my $4 back and they're making $1 on this thing, I'm happy with that. Plus, it helps them out, gets my name out there. I'm not looking to make a fortune. Matter of fact, if I get my money back out of these, I'll consider it a win. Again, I designed these as a marketing stunt or a marketing ploy to try to get my name out there so people will be like, well, what is that back there? I'm going to take, and I'm going to see what it is, and maybe they will subscribe that way. So there it is. Something. Hey, Mark, thanks, man. Yeah, let's see what else we have. Yes, sir. Let's see. Who else? Oh, yeah, we got some people in there now. Braden Runyon, what's up, buddy? Mark Shannon, do see you. Jason James, heck yeah. Feel free to share that out, guys, too, if you want to. It's definitely fine with me. So, anyway, back to the task at hand. Again, we're going to talk to them Wayne boys and see if they're interested in that. If they are, you can check them out. Give them away. And again, it's not much, but it's just giving them back a little bit. Get my name out there for what it's worth. Wintertime fishing, it sucks around here. Right now, it's cold. Right now, it's not even cold enough to snow. Everywhere in Ohio is getting bombarded with snow tonight, and it's going to rain here all day. Imagine that. It's going to be like 90% chance of rain from 9 o'clock tonight all the way till like 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I talked to Kyle in Dayton there a minute ago, and he said that they're looking to get plus 9 inches or so between now and end of day tomorrow. And like I said, which I'm okay with. Like, I'd like to get out this weekend and do some fishing. Like I said, I want to go out and try to smash a fish or two. I have a brand new bait that I don't even think a lot of people know about that I'm going to do a video on about YouTube about first. The issue is I think it's going to be a big bait that's going to be out there and people are going to be using it. I do believe that it's going to be a fish catching machine. My buddy Dusty hooked me up with one the other day. He went out and fished with Lonnie Cochran, a guide on Gunnersville. He fished a lake there near Gunnersville with Lonnie, and he brought me one back that he went and purchased. And I can't wait to throw it, and I can't wait to show you guys about it because I do think it's going to catch some fish. The video may be really short because I have one of them. And you know how it is. You only have one, you usually lose them. So I'm going to go out and try to catch some fish this weekend, hopefully, and I'll show you guys a bait that I think is going to be a big deal. Now, let's talk about how I talked about at the beginning of the show that there are a few things that I've found over the last few weeks that are going to be beneficial to me to try to find and break down lakes. Kyle and I are fishing the Ohio Bass Nation Team Tournament Trail for sure. I'm also going to be fishing a few others. I was going to go throw my name in the hat for the Chickamauga BFL, which is it's actually in a month, I guess, or close to it, 3 weeks. It's actually not this weekend or next weekend. It's the weekend after that. But that weekend is the Tackle Box Open House. So I'm always there repping Shimano and G Loomis, and that's one of the big deals about me having my affiliation with G Loomis and Shimano and Jackal and all that stuff through the Tackle Box, is that I go there and I spend that weekend with Greg and the guys at the Tackle Box, which it is going to be an amazing time, guys. You guys have heard me talk about it 100 times. I wish I could tell you how cheap the NRX Plus are going to be for that weekend, but here's what I'm going to tell you, is that if you find a better deal than we're going to have on the NRX for that weekend, you should buy 2. Or maybe 3. And they're super expensive rods, guys. We know that. 6. Another thing I'm going to tell you is that the NRX Plus line, pretty much all Loomis line, went up $50 pretty much on the rod series. So a NRX Plus used to be $600. Now it's $650, which is crazy. We're going to be selling it for way less than that. I can't advertise the price because there is an MSRP on those things, but come and see us. I promise you're not going to see an NRX Plus or any rod like that high end of a rod as cheap as they're going to be there. I'll be there. I will have some tungsten there for sale. Through those days there, I'll be selling these things pretty much $1 a weight. So these here will be $4. The quarter ounce are, I think, 4 in a pack. So it'll be $4. Half ounce is 2. So it'll be $2 for 2 of those. And the 3/4 ounce weights, there's 1 in a pack, but they'll be $2 a piece, which is still a steal of a deal. Again, trying to do some work there, get these things sold. I actually have sold very few of them, which I haven't really tried. I don't have a ton of money in it wrapped up, which is why don't have to worry about that. But so I'm going to be there. I'm going to be showing you guys some things. The Tackle Box is stocked up, man. I was up there the other day, and they have so many rods, whether it be Loomis and Shimano. They have so many of those. There's, whether you fish, what have you, Garcia, or, obviously I'm a Shimano and G Loomis guy, but if you want to come up there and find a rod, I guarantee they probably got it in stock. Those of you guys that are cat fishermen out there that may be pay lakers or whatever, I can't wait to get my hands on some of them. But Shimano actually come out with a brand new surf rod this year. And from my understanding, Greg is one of the few people to have them. Matter of fact, they designed the rod with the fact that Greg just kept saying, if I had this rod, if I had this rod, if I had this rod. Well, now they do have it. It's a 9-foot surf rod, I believe. Actually, I think they're 10-foot. I think they're 10 foot, but they're really nice, really cool looking rods. But they'll have a few of those up there unless they've sold them. Have a ton of stuff, more reels than you've ever seen. Vanfords, they did have saw that they had a Stella up there. If you're looking to really get in there deep, they had some Accents reels up there. They got my favorite right now, obviously, is the Accents, but lower than that, the Vanford. I didn't think they could make a reel better than the Stradic CI4, but I'm telling you, the Vanford is a crazy piece of equipment for the amount that you're getting the money for. Like I said, there's a ton of I've never seen so many spinning NRX Plus or NRX in my life. He's stocked up, man. I'm not gonna tell you. He's got like 150 NRX Plus rods just in that line. I want to think there's 800 or 900 rods in stock there, so it's a ton of rods. So come up and check it out, have some fun. Door prizes every hour, I think. The door prizes, you do have to be in store to win. So you come in, they'll give you a ticket, you put it in the bin. They draw a ticket every half hour or hour. I think it may be half hour, and it's for baits and things. But that ticket goes in that barrel and it stays in that barrel. So if you win something, they'll put it aside, but those tickets go back in at the end of the day. And what happens is that at the end of the day, and you don't have to be present for this, they draw for normally a Shimano rod and reel. It's normally like an SLX with an SLX rod or what have you. It's going to be something there, but it's 100% free to enter. You don't have to buy. There's no purchase necessary. You come in, you hang out, you get the ticket, you put it in there. You got a chance to win a couple $100 rod and reel. That's both days. That's Saturday and Sunday. So if you're there Saturday, you have the opportunity to win the one on Saturday. If you're there on Sunday, vice versa. If you're there both days, you obviously have the idea or the chance to win both of those, which is really cool. Sounds good, Andrew. So, enough spiel about that. That is the second week in February. That's going to be the 11th and 12th of February. Again, great line. I have to talk to Greg. They normally do a lot of line spooling there, but I'm not sure if they're doing it this year. Normally they spool line for like a penny a yard for mono. I'll have to see if they're going to do that this year. That's usually a big draw. And if that does take place and you're wanting to do that on some reels, make sure you get there early or drop them off and come back, because there is a huge line normally when that comes up, because, again, it's really cheap. It's just monofilament. You're not going to get any kind of like Sunline or any kind of fluoro or even braid for that price. It's just some regular like Stren usually, which is decent line. But I'll have to see if he's going to do that this year. I'm not sure he did it last year because of, with the COVID restrictions and things that have been over the last couple of years. I'm hoping to get back into where everything's normal at this point. But they wanted to keep the crowds down last year, and that's why they didn't offer that, because it was a huge draw. But again, that is the 11th and 12th of February at the Tackle Box in Solid Road, South Point, Ohio. It's worth a trip if you're, less than 3 or 4 hours away. Come down, hang out for a few hours, and see what they have. A huge amount of stuff. So anyway, back to trying to find fish in wintertime. I found a couple things on the Ohio DNR's website the other day that I didn't know existed. One, I will tell you that I have just recently found, especially if you're from Kentucky, I was tossing around the idea of whether or not I should show you guys this or not for Kentucky DNR, but see if I can find this online here. So I wish that Ohio had something like this, but I'll show you the Kentucky one first. So I've been digging around. Like I said, I try to find things to make me a more productive fisherman in the wintertime. Right now I'm digging through my Humminbird, my map cards and stuff, and look for contours and things and creating marks and things like that. A couple of things that I think I did show you guys before, but if you have a Humminbird app, and I'm sure there's other places, but the Humminbird app for your graph, if you have a Humminbird, you can download your waypoints and then put it in there on your computer, and you can literally, which is the coolest daggone thing, is you can right click on those things and go to view on Google Map, and it'll open up where that GPS point is on Earth, which is amazing. But without, even if you don't have a fish finder, this is something that I used when I didn't have great fish finders. So I'm going to show you guys here. And again, I was kind of leery to show you guys this because I think this is really pretty daggone cool. I wish Ohio had something like this. So on Kentucky DNR, and I think you guys have seen this before, but if you can go to Google and just search for Kentucky DNR or KY DNR Fisher Tractor, it'll come up. So here it shows you lakes here that actually has fish tractors. So let's look at Cave Run. So I could choose Cave Run Lake Map, and you can see here that it brings up every place that they've made man-made brush piles and fish attractors and things, which is really pretty cool because you can figure this stuff out on places that you've never been. So you can see here at the mouth of Beaver Creek, there's a lot of timber, some fish attractors here and stuff. This would be amazing for crappie fishermen or fishermen and things. But this is where it gets really cool. If I go back to the original one here, if you go back to, let's say, where we're just looking at Cave Run here, this is cool because it shows you the map. But this file right here, if you click on this, it downloads a GPX file to your computer. Now, what is that? Well, that is a GPS file. It's basically a GPX exchange file, I believe. And what happens is that every one of these points that are right here have a GPS location on them. So you can click on it, and it shows you the longitude and latitude for that point. Well, that GPX thing that I just showed you, you can upload that to pretty much any fish finder, whether that be Humminbird, Garmin, Lowrance, what have you, Simrad. They all have some kind of app that you can upload or open GPX files from this, which is really cool because I can study this map all day long. But if I know exactly where this brush pile's at using my fish finder, especially now that I'm trying to upgrade to the 360, I can get close to this, use 360 to find that thing and cast to find it and actually catch fish off from it if they're there. That is a huge deal for me to find that. And again, that is on Kentucky DNR's website. Again, you guys know that I'm a Grayson Lake fanatic. There isn't a ton, but they do put some Christmas trees and stuff in things. Here is the main ramp. Again, you could also go in, and I don't know that you can do it here. I guess you can do it right here at the bottom. There you go. Throw in the old GPS or the topographical maps or the satellite images. You can see here is the main launch ramp. We'll look right off of that. There's an actual tree spot that they throw trees in. And again, this is really pretty cool. I wish that Ohio had something like this, but that is one of the things that I think is really daggone cool. Let's see. Can you guys see it now? Sorry about that. Let me know if you guys can see that really quickly. Again, this is Kentucky DNR's website. I know why. I know why it wasn't. Hold on one second. Here's why. It's probably because it was on a different tab. So here's this. Hold on one second. So I just went there and I clicked on Cave Run. There we go. Now you should be able to see it. And with that being said, let me get rid of this banner here. Again, so this is what I was just telling you about. When you click on one of those lakes, it takes you to this actual thing here with the, all this stuff. So each one of these stuff that's on here is some sort of fish attractor. So you can click on right here. This is a steak bucket or whatever. And like I said, you can actually, for some reason, it's not letting me do it here on this Cave Run one, but let me get rid of this right here. There we go. So if you click this little square down here at the bottom left, it adds the satellite imaging too. So, you can see pretty much where it's at. So here's a boat ramp right here, some stumps, shows you some pretty cool stuff that you guys can see throughout the fish or throughout the lakes. Again, this is Cave Run. I know a lot of people fish it. You can see, look at all of the man-made structure in this lake. that I didn't know about. Maybe some of you guys did know about it. Look right here. Here is a pallet stack or rock reef. These are things that are man-made by the DNR that they have GPS waypointed. So again, the GPS waypoint here. So you could literally click on this and you could copy all this stuff down and put it in your fish finder, but man, that would be an absolute pain. So again, just to show you how this is done, if I, let's see, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. If I go back here and I show you that main screen, which is here, again, so that was right here. That was Cave Run Lake. And this is that map that I clicked on. I'm not going to click on it because it's going to open up in a new tab and you're not going to see it. Now, this file right here is a GPX file. And again, if you download this and you double click on it, it's not going to open up because a GPX file is not a file that your computer is going to recognize. You're going to need some sort of application. And I'll see if I can't get my application here to open up really quick for you guys so I can show you. And this is called Humminbird PC. So let me share this thing now. So here is the Humminbird PC, and again, so this would be your SD cards that you have in there. You would transmit these from the different ones. So if I choose to open here, and I do what have you, so let's go to File, let's choose Open, and I'm not sure that I have these still on this computer, but I'm gonna check and see if I do. It's been a while since I've downloaded them. There we go. So let's look at Cave Run. I don't have Cave Run on here. Let's look at Grayson Lake. So I'm going to open this up. And what happens is that here is that GPX file. So in this, there is waypoints, and these are already marked for you. So these are Christmas trees, and you can change the icon. This is where they're all at. So, you know, we were looking at Grayson. All these Christmas trees are marked on that website somewhere on that map, but you can actually literally take this and you can actually just upload it to an SD card, put it in your graph, whether that be Humminbird. Again, I'm using Humminbird here, but I know Lowrance does the same thing. Garmin does the same thing. GPX format is pretty much all GPS formats. So if you use like a handheld GPS finder, like on Lake Erie and stuff, you can do this exact same thing, which is really cool. But again, like I said, if the really cool thing about this is that these waypoints right here, again, this is cool on Humminbird. I'm sure this is probably available on anything, but like if I want to see where this is at, I can right click on this thing and I can go down to where it says view in Google Earth. And then what it's going to do, actually, I don't have Google Earth installed on here anymore. But if I did, it would open up Google Earth and it would show me on Google Earth exactly where that GPS coordinate is at, which is pretty daggone amazing. You can also drop new waypoints and things like that, which is really daggone cool. So that is one of the coolest things that I've seen so far, but I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it, which is really pretty cool. Yeah, man. So there we go. Yeah, so again, I've been emailing ODNR for the past couple of days, and I'm finally getting to the point of talking to people that actually know what's going on. And I have invited several people to be on my show at some point in their earliest convenience. I don't want to attack these people by any means, but there's a lot of questions that I would like answers. I know a lot of you guys out there want answers too. Like, for example, my biggest question is what happens to our money as fishermen in Ohio? It's not stocking trout in these lakes. I know it's not, because trout's not that expensive and they stock them one time a year and all trout die. They all do, whether you catch them or not. If it's in a lake, the lakes get hot enough, every trout in there either gets eaten by a big bass, which is okay in my opinion because it's food and forage for bass, but these fish are just dying unless they're catching it. Another thing a lot of people don't know is like farm raised trout like that. If you hook a trout and you throw it back in the lake, 9 times out of 10 it's going to die anyway. So if you catch a trout out of the lake, you better just take it home and eat it, or take it to somebody who's going to eat it because it's going to die anyway. But I don't see any of these things. We talked about the Florida strain, the F1 bass or whatever. I think that they should pick one lake and, you know, I mean, something small like Vesuvius or something. and spend a couple $1,000s on these fish and drop them in a lake and do a study and see how that affects those fisheries. Do the fish survive? How is that $2,000 or whatever affecting the population of fish? Like, there's nothing that happens like that in ODNR that I'm aware of. And I'd like to get to the bottom of it, and I would like to be part of the change. I would like to know what I can do as an angler to help them out to try to make as best fishing conditions as we can, because, guys, we live in the armpit of America for bass fishing, and I'm not going to tell you any different. You have to drive 2 hours from any direction where I'm at to even catch decent-sized fish. Like, I think one of the best lakes around here to actually consistently catch decent-sized fish is Rocky Fork Lake, and it's an hour and a half for me. Even higher than that, going to Lake St. Clair, Lake Erie, places like that, you can catch fish, but not around here. And our tax money as paying anglers is going somewhere, but it's not back to our waters, I don't think. I really don't think it is. Yeah, Fred. So that's the thing. Like, I don't, politics aside, I think that we as anglers in Ohio are getting a short end of the stick here, because, again, I know for a fact in my local area, there are several places that stock trout. For example, Lake Vesuvius, and they do this for a great reason. I think it's amazing. One of the times that they stock trout, or the only time they stock trout, is like a few days before a Wheeling Sportsman event, which is for people that are less fortunate, may have, severe, they have a special ability. I don't like to say disability, because, it is what it is. They just have some special ways of catching fish and special ways of getting around and things. And they have a really nice boardwalk at Vesuvius, and they turn those trout loose for the opportunity for those people to try to catch some fish, because, in our area, it's so tough to catch a fish that they want to stack the deck to make these people have a great time, which I get. I think it's an amazing thing. I think it's awesome. But that is one event, and the fish that they stock is for that one event and people to catch them. But there's no benefit there other than the people that are eating them, which is, I don't know, maybe very few, or it could be every one of them's eating. I don't know. But I don't think that they're doing a very good job with our taxpayer money. Not even really our taxpayer money. I'm talking about the money that I pay in for my fishing license every year. Yeah, man. Cedar Creek, I want to go down for sure. Not too far from me. A few hours, 2 hours, I think. I've heard a lot about it. My buddy Drew Sadler has talking about it. They've caught some absolute hammers out of there. I want to go down there for sure. Yeah, so Fred, I'm with you. Like I said, I don't want to attack these people, and that's what I keep reiterating in my emails, is that I'm not looking to attack people. What I want to do is I want to figure out how we as anglers can make a plan so we can all be beneficial from it. I don't care about this person gave X dollars or that person gave X dollars or this is why we can't do it. I think that's all BS. I want to throw all that out the window. I want to do what I can to help, whether that's like volunteering on a Saturday to go to Vesuvius and help them stock these, 100,000 F1 fingerlings, whatever have you. I don't care. I will do that. We'll create a video about it. We'll do a study on seeing how, because I fish these lakes, guys. Did I catch a fish this year that's an F1? Did I catch a fish this year that's an F1? Is the fish population getting better? Is it getting worse? It's not going to get any worse, I don't think. And even if these F1 string bass die in our area, you cannot tell me that Florida string bass live in Chickamauga, but they cannot live here. The Dusty and I were talking about this weekend. The average temperature swing is like 10 degrees difference here. We don't have solid water. We don't have ice water. It's not solid water. We don't have we're not getting ice seas and stuff. The temperatures down towards the bottom are staying in the 40s probably, depending on how deep the lake is. Could be in the 50s. Hard to say. So I think they'll live here. We just got to figure out how to get the DNR to jump on board, and that's what my goal is. When I get somebody on here, I don't want to attack them. I want to be a part of the change. I want to be something that, I want to build something for the future that people past me can catch bass, right? Because I can go to Vesuvius and catch a 12-inch bass now. 10 years from now, somebody might go to Vesuvius and catch a 12-pounder. And that's what it's all about. So that's one of the things. So the Kentucky Department of Natural Resources, I just showed you that. So if I see you guys on one of those fisher tractors, I know that you watch this show. But it's there for Kentucky. Now let's look at some Ohio stuff. I have recently found out some things through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. I don't feel like it's as good as the Kentucky side of things there, but I'll show you here really quickly something that I found recently. And that is, let's see, where is it? Right here, Lake and Reservoir Fishing Maps. So you guys are seeing this. This is odnr.gov. And again, you can just search for fishing maps, Ohio, and this comes up. With the inland lakes, you can search. It looks like there's 134 lakes, so you may not have to search a ton of them. So if you click download here, it opens up, and I'll have to share this really quick. I have to reshare this because it opened up a new tab. Let's do this. I'll negate doing that by doing this. I will share my screen and not the tab. Share screen. I will share the window, and we'll do to the window to the wow. All right, so let's do this so you guys can see it. And you're seeing a bunch of different things there. I apologize. So let's look at, where was it? All right, so you guys are seeing it now here. So I then chose Rocky Fork Lake, and I chose download there, and it opened up, which is here. And it has a fishing map here, and it has some contour lines, which I like. If I can zoom in here, you can see some of these contour lines and things. You can see the main channel going through, which is really cool, really handy. Well, didn't mean to do that. This bank right here looks like a really cool bank. Got a channel swing, really deep bank. Again, I know exactly where this thing's at. Here's a little hump, 6 foot. I know exactly where this stuff's at. And I'm sure most of you guys do too that fishes Rocky Fork because it's not that big. But this is really cool. It gives you the opportunity to see these things and see contours and find things, which I didn't know existed. And then I started doing a little bit more research, and I found this interactive map. So let's let it zoom out here to get to all of Ohio. And this is, again, on the Ohio. This is Ohio Lake Map Resource. Again, this is actually in the GIS side of Ohio DNR, which is, I think it's like something information services, like global information services, I think, but it's just GPS basically. So you can see here, and you can look at some of these lakes. Like, for example, let's go up in here to Delaware County, which this should be Alum Creek right here, I believe. Yep, sure is Alum Creek. Zooming in here, a little bit better contours here on bigger maps. Shows you shallow areas, shows you riprap, shows you some fish attractors that's back in here. Again, I really like this a lot. You can go up to base maps here and change this from satellite to topo if you wanted to. I don't know why you would want to do that. I like seeing satellite because I like to pick out things on the bank to tell me that I'm where I should be, which is kind of good there. I'm going to be digging into Alum Creek here a lot because I'll be fishing a couple tournaments there this year, at least one for Ohio Bass Nation. So I like this idea right here. You can toggle on and off some things over here on the left-hand side. So if you wanted to see things that have like a 20 horsepower limit, you could then see those on the map, which I'm not going to worry about that. And so let's do 20 horsepower and then choose search. See if it gives me any responses here. Actually, don't know that that's going to work because I'm going to have to search for a name. But so this is a pretty cool thing that I found just the other day. Again, this is an interactive map. A couple of them you could here's one of them. If you downloaded them from, this is Indian Lake. And again, some of the stuff is not as great as others. If we zoom in here, You can see that there's not a ton of stuff, marked out here. I will tell you that Indian Lake doesn't have a lot of contours. Those of you guys that don't know, Indian Lake was actually hand dug by human beings. So that's why, it's like 6-8 foot in the deepest spot all the way across it. And talking about a death trap, we talked about, I think Fred mentioned it the other day, there's a ton of stumps and stuff in this area. There is a spot right here in between these islands right here that is absolutely just chock full of stumps and stuff like that, which is crazy. But this gives me a pretty cool idea that I can go through and I can see what's happening here. Let me stop sharing that thing so you don't see all that stuff. All right, I'll check him out, Brandon. I appreciate it. So, water depth and movement is one of. So I get that, but I don't. Also, Florida strain bass live in like Kissimmee and they live in Okeechobee, and these places probably do have some water flow, but they're not getting. They're like 4 or 5 foot deep a lot of spots. So I think that it would be a good way to try. Yeah, man. That's a great idea. I've never even thought about it, but it's kind of it kind of sucks that we have to do this as anglers, but it would be pretty cool, man, if they would let us do this. If we could say, hey, you know what, we're gonna buy. I mean, there has to be. Let's see here. We'll just do a we're just going to do a quick Google search here, and you guys are not seeing this, but largemouth bass Florida strain for pond stocking. Looks to me like you can buy them from the first website I chose. Apparently, you can buy them on eBay. So obviously, I wouldn't want to do that, but let's see. There's one here called Willow. What is this? Willow Creek Fisheries, and I'm sure this is in Florida. Place order. Let's see. You guys are not seeing this. It doesn't give you price on them. Let's see. Florida largemouth bass that you can buy from this place. Again, you guys are not seeing this. I apologize, but 2 to 6 inches long. They come in as fingerlings. Florida's largemouth bass have grown over 21 pounds. Faster growing rate than the northern bass and much more aggressive. Florida strain black bass are the best known for most popular game fish in North America. They're great for stocking ponds where you want private, world-class fishing. So if that's a pond, then they're going to have a lot of water movement in there. So maybe that's something we can see what's happening. Florida largemouth bass attain a size of 10 to 12 inches in 1 year, while northern bass can take up to 3 years to reach 10 inches. So that is pretty outstanding stuff. Really, man? That's cool. That was random. Madison Lake. Yeah, I'm right there on it. That's cool. Small world. So yeah, man. Maybe we just get a couple hundred of us together and buy a big bunch of Florida strain bass, and just so happens Vesuvius turns into being one of the top 10 bass lakes in America. I've heard tell that there are some people stocking chick bass in Jackson Lake. I ain't sure about that, but that might be. I don't know. Let's try it. That'd be cool. It's probably a ton of money, I would imagine, especially fingerlings. Like I want like I'm talking like fry. We need like a couple 100,000 fry, and let them get bigger. I know a couple ponds that like turn some loose in. Anyway, so those are the things that I found over the last couple of days that may help you catch some more fish. I do have some new rods coming in stock here very soon that I'll be doing some reviews on. Let's see here. For some reason, I'm trying to figure out how many people is in the league right now, and it is 8 people. We got 8 people in the league. So thank you guys for joining. If you guys are just now joining and don't know what I'm talking about, there is I started a Major League Fishing fantasy fishing league. Again, it's 100% free to join fantasy fishing. It's 100% free to join my league. The league to join it, again, is the code if you don't know what I'm talking about, Major League Fishing and Bassmaster, which I love Bassmaster's version of it too. I'll be playing it as well. But you can't create leagues in there that I know of. I need to get a hold of some people and see what's up there. But I created a league on MLF Fantasy Fishing called On Another Line. It's free to join. I'm going to have some prizes towards the end of the year I'm going to give away. Hop on there. Fantasy Fishing, as far as the MLF side of things, if you hop on there and you get 10 anglers per event. Like the first one is in 13 days in the Kissimmee chain in Kissimmee, Florida. So you pick the 10 anglers that you believe is going to do the best. One of the caveats is that you have to choose one angler, which is, below the bottom, the top 40. I think it have to be 41 through like 65 or whatever's left. But I will say, one of the I was saying earlier is that if you were random enough to pick 10 anglers that finish in the top 10, obviously you can't pick orders, so you just have to pick the 10 anglers that finish in the top 10. You win a boat and a truck, which is pretty amazing for no purchase necessary. But again, if you want to jump over there to Major League Fishing on their fantasy fishing league, you choose join a league, and then you type in that code you see there on the screen. I've also put it in the comments here below. And join us, have fun. Yeah, man. So what's the legality of that? Like, could they say no to you for stocking a lake? I know they could tell you, they could probably fine your rear end off if you were doing something like an invasive species. Like if you threw like snakehead into somewhere, I could see where they're just going to be ticked, right? But why would they care, right? Why would they care? Because you're stocking a bass at this point. So it would be our money, and we go in and we say we're just going to randomly stock 10,000 of these fish in a couple different ponds, different lakes in the state of Ohio. And we're going to do this, on our own dime or whatever. If these fish, there's 2 options here, I think, in my opinion, that the fish either die off because they can't live here, right? We already know that's their excuse. That's the DNR's excuse, that they're not going to live here, so we're not going to spend the money. We're not going to waste some money. Okay, I get that. However, there's 2 options. They're either going to be right, and they're not going to live here, or they're going to be wrong, and we're going to have some good fisheries. But either way, they're either going to help the population of bass, or they're going to die off, which is going to, the fish are going to eat those things when they're dying. So there's not going to be a downfall. Obviously, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. Isn't that how it goes? I don't know. Maybe it's On Another Line tournament where we pitch in a couple $100 and then per boat, and then nobody wins anything, but accidentally 100,000 fish end up in the pond. I don't know. Yeah, buddy, man. 7.3 Poison Adrena. Love those things, man. I hope you like it as much as I do. It is one of my favorite Poison Adrena rods out there for sure. The medium heavy Poison Adrena, phenomenal. I also like the 7.2 heavy or medium heavy glass is a really good rod too. I like that one. So many good Shimano rods out there. But anyway, again, like I said, I was just talking about it a second ago. We're at that 1 hour mark. But if you guys want to join that Major League Fishing League, it's out there. I'm going to post it on my social media. If you guys have some people that you'd like to send it to, again, it's all fun and games. Just give us a way to smack talk some things. We'll show some leaders up every week on the live show after it's over. We'll talk about it and have fun. But with that being said, guys, we're at that 1 hour mark, and I don't like to keep you guys on here no longer than that because I have to go hop on the Peloton because I'm fat and I need to get some sleep. But with that being said, I'm going to talk to the Wayne boys, them Wayne boys out there. I do have some tungsten. Again, I'm going to have this for sale if I have any left, which I should have plenty at the tackle box in a couple weeks. I'm going to sell these things to you for what I have in the packs per dollar amount. And again, that's going to be if there are $4, if there's a weight, if there's 4 weights in here, there'll be $4. If there's 2 weights in here, there'll be $2. If there's 1 weight in here, which is a 3/4 ounce, there'll be $2 a piece. You're not going to find any kind of tungsten that cheap. Now, if you go to the open house at the Great Outdoors this weekend and you see them Wayne boys out there, they're going to be selling this for $1 more per pack. So this will be $5. The 2 packs or the 3 packs will be $4, etc. And that extra buck will go to them to help their club out, their fishing team, however they see fit. And again, which I think is more than fair for me because again, this was a marketing scheme for me. Has a QR code in the clamshell packaging that if you scan that, it takes you to my YouTube channel. It's going to be a pretty good deal. So I'm gonna get a hold of them and see what happens. But with that being said, we are at that 1 hour mark, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys sticking around for this episode of Honor the Line. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Go out and check out some of our sponsors and some of our people on this channel. Obviously, Shimano, G Loomis, Tackle Box in South Point, Ohio, Odyssey Batteries. There's so many out there that have been a part of this show. Solar Bat Sunglasses, Blue Rock Custom Tackle, is kind of a pseudo affiliate. Try to help him out. And again, if you are looking to buy some stuff from Blue Rock Custom Tackle, if you use the code Brandon Klein, BRANDONCLINE, all one word, it'll save you some dough. That triple threat jig is phenomenal. Get a black one and throw it. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. I guarantee it. So with that being said, guys, we are done for this week. Got a new video coming out hopefully this weekend showing you a new bait that is new to me, and I'm sure you've probably never seen one, but I think it's going to be a fish catching machine. Without further ado, guys, if you guys can get out there and lean on, we'll see you next time on Another Line.